guys again, this is Uzma Yakoob and you're watching Sculpt Beauty TV, and this is my Christmas Eve makeup tutorial. Okay, now in these tutorials I use a lot of Sculpt Beauty products, and some people ask me why. Now the reason why I use them is, firstly, they're all over the place in my house, in the office, in the studio. They're there all the time, everywhere I go. Not only that, when you create a makeup, you know, you are going to try and make it the best you can, right? So the pigments and the things, that the versatility of the makeup is spot on. So that's why I use a lot of Sculpt Beauty products. But saying that, we do get sent a lot of makeup as well to review and to use on these tutorials. And I did get an email recently from a young lady who wanted me to review the 3D eyelash phenomena that's going on around. I think it's a unique, I'm not quite sure, which is a tutorial that will be coming soon, hopefully in the new year. And she basically said that, I know you only use Sculpt Beauty products, and when she said that, I thought, actually no, we don't just use Sculpt Beauty products, and because of that, I thought that I'd dedicate a tutorial on another makeup brand, and the one I've come across is KIKO. Now KIKO, I think I'm saying that right, I think it's KIKO and not KIKO. Okay, whatever it is. I've got KIKO Makeup Milano here, okay, which is authenticated in Italy, okay, so it's an Italian makeup brand, and they sent me a load of cosmetics a while ago, and I thought, you know what, let me do a tutorial on them. It's a wet and dry eyeshadow, and I've not done a wet and dry eyeshadow tutorial before, so I thought that my Christmas Eve tutorial will be using KIKO cosmetics mainly, and this is how it looks. Now it looks lighter in the camera than it actually is, a little bit darker really, but I hope you guys enjoy it, and if you guys switch off before you get to the end, which I hope you don't do, but if you do, for whatever reason, Merry Christmas. So I've already primed my eye with a bit of concealer, and I used the HD Quad Concealer because I love it. Okay, so we're going to go into our first colour. Now this is 227, and it is obviously the KIKO, and it's like a light grey mauve, okay, and I really like it because it's not that harsh, yeah, it's not as white, and it's kind of a little bit grey, so I think that looks a little bit elegant if you ask me. Okay, so I'm going to use it first without any water in it. And if you use these eyeshadows without water, then they're a lot more subtle, okay? And I'm just applying that in my inner corner of my eye, like so. They're a lot more subtle, as opposed to applying it with a bit of water, and then they're a lot more prominent. You do get wet and dry. Now, for the new Smoke and Rouge, we are working on a formula where the wet and dry is amazing with and amazing without, okay? So I didn't actually like this pigment without the water, okay? So as you can see, I've got some on my inner corner, and I've applied some on my brow as well, okay, as my highlighter. Okay, now I'm going to dip my brush in a little bit of water, and you're going to see a little bit of the difference, how suddenly prominent that becomes. Now the thing is, if you're going to use wet and dry, it's easy to get really carried away and keep applying, okay? You don't want to do that. The reason why is, if you keep applying, you don't really realize how much eyeshadow you're putting on, and when the water dries, you're just going to have a lot of flaky eyeshadow everywhere, okay? So I've got that there. Okay, so the next colour that I am going to use is my darker colour, and this is 228, and it is like a grey, it's got a tinge of purple, I think it is, but it's more grey than that, and I'm really into colours like that recently, okay? So what I'm going to do first of all, I'm going to get my brush. I'm just going to use the same brush, and I'm just going to apply this okay, without any water in. I have to say I do like the pigment, and as you can see, I've applied it. I've only applied my first colour on my inner corner. I haven't really taken it throughout, but don't worry about that because we're going to be covering it with another metallic shade. So you don't want to, the reason I haven't covered my whole eye area is because I already know that I'm going to apply colour there anyway, so there's no point in layering it and, you know, toning down the colour for no reason at all. Okay, now what I should have done is applied some powder underneath my eyes to catch any fallout, but I haven't done that. So anyway, I'm using a small brush, so as you can see, so I can have total control over the shape that I'm creating. And I've just applied this shadow. Now it's really important that you control how much you're putting on, okay? Now with good quality pigmented colours, you don't need to apply a lot of eyeshadow or keep applying. So I've done that, and now what I'm going to do is I am just going to soften my outer edge. Like so. Yeah? Now I'm going to dip my brush, same brush, into water, and you're going to see the difference in suddenly the pigment. So it suddenly becomes a little bit more intense. Yeah, and I'm just going into my crease. Yeah, so could you see, suddenly it's created a little bit of a gradient where it's softer on the outside, using it without water, and then as soon as you apply the water, it's a little bit more intense, so it's darker, more prominent on the inside. Okay, so now I'm going to get this, and I'm going to apply a little bit on my inner corner as well. Not right towards where we've applied our highlighter, just where your lash line starts. And I don't want this to be too dark, I am just applying a little bit. Okay, so you should end up with something that looks like that. Take off what's on your brush, and what I'm going to be using is the ombre colours, which are like glittery pigments, and this is an 05, and it's like a brown coppery colour. Now grey and this type of colour go really, really well together, and they look actually quite pretty. I'm using a softer brush, yeah, and get a little bit of that in, and we're just going to apply this over where our line ends, okay? So just above our crease. Now remember, if you've seen the tutorial before, or you've seen my tutorials, you will remember what I said about getting the shape right, okay? Knowing when to stop and where to stop, okay? So I've applied this, but I know that I'm going to go into my highlighter and blend this out. You don't actually have to if you want a more of an intense look. Okay, so I've got my brown there. It's very, very subtle. The idea is that it catches the light and it just glistens a little bit. Okay, now I've got the same type of eyeshadow in 04, which is kind of more of a goldeny colour. And I'm applying this just on my inner corner, like so. Yeah, so same thing, it just adds a hint. Now I've applied more on that side, so I'm just going to balance it out like so. That looks pretty already. I'm not sure how great the light is. Okay, so we're nearly there. What I'm going to do is I want to intensify the darkness. Now you can leave it at that if you want to, okay, but I want to make it a little bit darker. So I'm going into my Smoke and Rouge quad palette, and I'm just using the black. You could use any black eyeshadow you want, and I'm just going into my crease. I hope I'm not going too fast for you guys, because the longer these tutorials are, I know they're long, and I make them long by purpose, because I try and explain everything to you so you understand, because I know some of you guys are great at makeup who watch these tutorials, but we get beginners as well who really, really want to learn. And if I go too fast for them, then, you know, for me it's pointless, because that's the whole point of me doing these tutorials, okay? But if I am going too fast, feel free to ask me any questions below if you're watching this on YouTube, and I'll answer everything that you need knowing, okay? Right, so I've applied the back black there. Now I applied it in a way where I was blending at the same time, so I don't really need to blend any harsh lines out, but you can go back in if you wish, yeah? Right, okay, before I get to my metallic gold in the center here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tone down the edges of this eyeshadow. Now you don't have to if you want to go for a more dramatic feel, but I like it quite soft, because my lips are quite bold, so I want to keep my eyeshadow not as smoky. Okay, so if you want it more dramatic, add a little bit more black. You know, if you don't, then do as I am doing. Okay, and then I'm just going to go back with where's my gold? Sorry, my brown here. Okay, right, so we're going to go back, we're going to go and do our center color now. So get your brush. I'm going to use a fluffy brush now. At the moment, I'm moving things around in my house, so everything is everywhere at the moment. So I couldn't find all my brushes, so I'm making do with what I have. Okay, so this is the wet and dry, and this is in 200. Now, this is a really metallic gold color, and I really, really like it. So I'm going to dip my brush into water and just get the color on there. And I'm not sure if you can see, but it actually comes on a little bit like paint as well. Okay, now you have to be careful of this, because like I said, you can very easily apply too much. Okay, and I'm just going to get this into my crease, and I'm just sticking to the mid of my eyelid. Okay, so I'm just stopping there. Now the thing with wet and dry eyeshadows is you can actually control the consistency through the pressure on your brush and the amount of water that you use. Okay, so make sure you don't go for glory and apply it all over your eyes unless it's, you know, that's the type of look that you're going for, because what you're going to find is that you've put too much eyeshadow on, and then you're going to find it hard to blend. Okay, so I'm going back into my dark grey colour, and I'm just blending the sides where I need it. Okay, and that's it really. I've got this, from the flashlight, I've got this light in my eye, so I can't actually see if my lids are symmetrical. Okay, so that is the main of the eye done. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go into some eyeliner. Before we do that, actually, we're going to get our 228, which is our dark smoky colour, dip it in some water, get it on your thin brush, and we're going to apply it just below your lashes. Yeah, and we're going to apply it there again once we've applied the eyeliner, but this makes a good base for the eyeliner to stick onto. Okay, so eyeliner, Smoke and Rouge gel liner, that's what I use because I am in love with it and it's amazing. And I know it doesn't go anywhere. Now the problem is with metallic eyeshadows is when you apply eyeliner, they don't always come on perfectly. Okay, now I've used all formulas and this is the case. Okay, so it's a little bit of experimenting. Okay, now I've applied some here, as you can see, which has faded. Now I think that is because of the fallout, so I'm just going to go over it again. And I actually do feel that this eyeliner can conquer everything. Okay, that's just my personal view. So try and keep your eyeliner as thin as possible on the inner corner, purely because depending on how your eye shape and how much space you have on your lid, you don't want to cover, you don't want to cover half your lid so you can't see your beautiful metallic gold in the center. And I'm going to apply some under my waterline too. We're going to really smudge this out and smoke out underneath your eye. There you go. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to smoke the end out of this. So we're going to go back into our black eyeshadow. Now if you're going to smoke your eyeliner out, use matte black eyeshadow, not shimmer. It's not going to have the same effect, okay? And use something that is pigmented, otherwise you'll be blending for a long time. Okay, so as you can see, I am just blending the edge, yeah, into my crease, like so. Now, the last thing, go back in to your 228, your dark grey colour, and what we're going to do is just go over the line of our eyeliner and just smoke this out. Yeah, and you can make it as thick as you desire. I'm kind of taking it lower than I usually do and just meet it back like so. Okay, so we're nearly done. And then we're going to go on to eyelashes. Now the eyelashes I am using are by Perfect Eyelashes, and this is called Pretty Day, and I really, really like them. I don't know if you can see the eyelashes there, like so. I'm just going to apply some glue. And I know I usually say, I'll be back in a minute with my eyelash on, but I think that I'll just apply them whilst you're here. I will actually do an eyelash tutorial in the new year, and I will actually try and show you how to put the eyelashes on below as well, which seems to be a big hit at the moment. Right, so the reason I like these is because they're so natural looking. They don't look too much. Some people do some beautiful eye makeup, and sometimes I'm guilty of this, and then you put these humongous eyelashes on and you can't actually see anything after that. Okay, so my finished look is now complete. Okay, now I'm going to go through a few of the other things that I have used for this tutorial, because a lot of people do ask me, and though I do leave all the items in the description box below, I thought that I would show you guys anyway, because I know that a lot of you already have asked me about the lips that I'm wearing, and I have put a picture out on my Instagram. Okay, so the blusher that I have used, now because I've used a pink lipstick, but I've got kind of golds in my eyes and stuff, people can get kind of confused on what lipstick should I go for in that case. Do I go for something more bronzy? Do I go for something more pinky without the colours clashing? Okay, so the idea is that you kind of stick to the main colours, the undertones of the rest of your makeup, otherwise it kind of could look a little bit clowny, like, okay, that's the wrong word, it could kind of look a little bit clashy, if you know what I mean. Okay, so the blusher that I've used are the MAC Mineralize, okay? Now this one's broken, which if you use MAC Cosmetics, and I don't use them a lot, you will probably have the same problem. Okay, now this one is called, it's really hard because I've got this light in my eye wherever I look. Okay, so this is like a dark bronzer. I will find out the colour and I'll put it in the description box below. So I've applied that on my cheeks, my cheeks first, blended that out, and I've gone over it just above with a pinky shade. Okay, and they're both mineralized, and this one I could tell you is called Gentle. Okay, so I've applied that. The highlighter that I've used for this tutorial is the MAC highlighter, also part of the Mineralize skin finish, and this is called Lightscapade. Okay, the lipstick, which I know that a lot of people have already asked me about, is the who is this by? BOURJOIS. This is by BOURJOIS. It's the Rouge edition Velvet, and this color is 06. Okay, and I've used that all over my lips, and I've applied the KIKO 208 wet and dry eyeshadow in the middle and then blended it out. Okay, so that's the rest of the makeup that I've used. Now I hope you guys have enjoyed this tutorials. Now you guys have a lot of questions from me all the time, and they get posted in different places. Now if you do have a question about this tutorial or anything else, then put it in the description box below on this YouTube video, and I will answer the questions in the next tutorial or at the end of the video. And I think that is probably the best way for me to do things. So yeah, so do that. Okay, now everything that I have used, like usual, is in the description box below on YouTube. You need to watch this on YouTube, all right, or the Sculpt Beauty website. Also, anything Smoke and Rouge and Sculpt Beauty can be bought from our website, sculptbeauty.com/shop, and we do ship worldwide. Okay, now if you are really into social media, you can find us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. All you need to look for is Sculpt Beauty, as in one word. If you're on YouTube, Sculpt Beauty TV, subscribe to the channel and like this video if you like it. And like I said, put your comments below because I do read them. And if there's anything really important, then it does get flagged up to me just in case I miss it. Okay, if you want to follow me, it's Uzma Yakoob on Instagram, Facebook, you just Google Uzma Yakoob, and you know, all my social feeds should hopefully come up. Interact with me, guys. I love interacting with you lot, and if you are into makeup and learning about makeup and stuff, then you know I'll always be there to help you guys out, which is the main reason of these tutorials really. If you want to become a professional makeup artist, don't qualify yourself by watching YouTube tutorials. Do a proper course. We have an institute called the London Makeup Institute, which is a training academy based in London and in Dubai, and we are looking to launch in Los Angeles. So if you are in Los Angeles and you're interested in doing a course, drop us a message so we know that when we do launch the courses, then we contact you straight away and let you know first. Okay, I think I've covered everything. I hope this tutorial wasn't too quick for you guys, and I've managed to explain you know, what I've done and how I've done it, and I'm trying to talk fast and I'm trying to get on with it rather than keeping these tutorials long. I hope you guys have a lovely Christmas. Okay, eat loads. It's time of year that I take a few days off, and I do go for glory when it comes to food, and I'm doing a Christmas lunch at my house, and I plan to be cooking for 2 days and eating for 2 days. Okay, so if you are going out and you are drinking, be safe, guys. You know, make sure that you've got your lift there and your lift back, and you know, make sure that you don't speak to strangers. Just take care of yourself. There's a lot of funny things happening in the world nowadays, and every time I put my Facebook on, you know, there's something or another which gets me down what I read, and you know, just take care of yourself, you know. That's it. I'm going to stop yappering on. I will see you in the new year, hopefully, or maybe, you never know, before that. Merry Christmas, and I will see you soon. This is Uzma Yakoob, and you're watching Sculpt Beauty TV. See you later.